Another thing about Shaykh rahmatullahi alayh was his tajarrud lid-daleel. That the Shaykh rahimahullah ta'ala wasn't a blind follower. He would always try his best, because what you have to understand is that in Ethiopia, the Shaykh rahmatullahi alayh, he studied the Hanafi madhab. So when he studied the Hanafi madhab and he came to Saudi Arabia and he read the books of Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn al-Qayyim and Shaykh Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, he came to realize that a lot of the hadith that he's coming across, they go against the madhab of the Hanafiyyah. And so the Shaykh took upon himself to stick to the daleel. And that's why many a time the Shaykh rahmatullahi alayhi in his classes, when you listen to him, a particular explanation of a scholar would be made and given, and he would sometimes interrupt and he would say, لكن هذا ما هو مسلم. لكن هذا ما هو مسلم. But we don't accept this, or we don't accept this particular statement or this explanation, because it goes against a hadith. It goes against a hadith from the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And that's how our Shaykh rahmatullahi alayhi was. The wasiyah of our Shaykh rahmatullahi alayhi was, when brothers would always come to him, they would say to him, "Ya Shaykh, advise me." He will say, "Usika bi taqwallah." I advise you with the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because the taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the wasiyah, the advice given to those who came before us and those who come after us. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَقَدْ وَصَّيْنَا الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ وَإِيَّاكُمْ أَنِ اتَّقُوا اللَّهِ. And we advised and admonished those who were given the book, who came before you. And likewise we admonish you to fear Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Whoever fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make for him a leeway and a way out. And also the second advice and wasiyah of our Shaykh would always be to seek knowledge. Seek knowledge. Another occurrence that comes to mind is how our Shaykh rahmatullahi alayhi used to stick to the Sunnah of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. One time one of the Saudi brothers hosted the Shaykh in Jeddah, because the Shaykh was very feeble. This was towards the latter years of his life rahmatullahi alayhi. Because he was very feeble, the Shaykh wasn't able to make wudu for himself. And so the Saudi brother was making wudu for the Shaykh. And after the Shaykh made wudu, the Shaykh took a handful of water and he placed it under his beard and he put his fingers through his beard. And so the brother said to him, "Ya Shaykh, what's this?" And then the Shaykh said, "Do you not know? This is the Sunnah." And then this brother, may Allah bless him, told me that story happened on the same day it happened. And then afterwards, I researched the hadith and it turned out to be the hadith of Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anhu, where he said, أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم كان إذا توضأ أخذ كفا من ماء فأدخله تحت حنكه فخلل به لحيته وقال هكذا أمرني ربي. Anas ibn Malik ibn Nadr radiallahu anhu said that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, whenever he'd finish making wudu, he'd take a handful of water and he'd place it under his beard and he would do takhleel. He would basically get his fingers and he would dig deep into the roots of his beard. And he sallallahu alayhi wasallam, doing that, would say, "This is how my Lord commanded me." And so the Shaykh has a hadith for his action. And that's how the scholars are. It's very important to pay attention to what the scholars do at times, because they have a daleel for what they're doing. And part of your urge for knowledge is to ask the scholar, "Shaykh, why did you do this? Is there a daleel for that?" And then most of the time you'll find an answer, and that's new knowledge that you attain. Similarly, that same brother told me that after he made wudu for the Shaykh and the Shaykh placed water under his beard, the Shaykh got a handful of water and he placed it on his private part in his inner clothing. In his inner clothing. And Shaykh said, the brother said to the Shaykh, Shaykh, why'd you do that? He said, you don't know this? This is a sunnah. And then when we researched it, it turned out to be the hadith of Zayd ibn Haritha radiallahu anhu, whereby he said, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم علمني جبرائيل الوضوء. Jibreel عليه السلام taught me the wudu. وأمرني أن أنضح تحت ثوبي لما يخرج من البول بعد الوضوء. And Jibreel commanded me for me to spray or sprinkle water under my thobe due to what may exit from me from urine after wudu. And this is an authentic hadith, and the ulama rahimahum Allah ta'ala, they obviously discuss that, and they say that's obviously if a person becomes doubtful, and that's a sunnah with regards to being doubtful after completing wudu.